I did say his father wasn't particularly hands-on. I should have said his father was not there in the home, because when he was in the home, he was very hands-on and not in a comfortable way. Eric, thank you for staying and coming to do a part two. Really appreciate that. Could we just wrap up the whole Calabar experience?
Yes, yes.
Were you any better academically at Calabar than you were at Duhaney Park? I know you said that you came ninth because you were threatened by your mother that if you came
in first form.
In the first form. And then what happened after that?
Well, you just drifted. In fact, when third form and you had to select now whether you'll do sciences or so, well, wasn't good enough for the sciences, and they used to say the brightest boys went to the sciences. Then the next set of bright boys will do arts because they were supposed to be the lawyer. And then the rest of you would then can go to business or the technical. Now, I couldn't do technical because I wasn't good at woodwork or anything at all like that. So I went into business. And the boys in the other class used to look down on you because you're not as bright as they are. But well, I enjoyed my time there. I found while I didn't do math very well. In fact, I did math 3 times at O level. I got a U ungraded, then I got a E, then I got a D. Should have done it another time because I could have gotten maybe the C, but I didn't. But what I loved was accounts. So while I didn't like the triangles and so, I like how the money thing work out, balancing the money. So I loved accounts.
How many years you spent at Calabar?
Well, that was another story. I spent 8 years at Calabar, and I didn't repeat a form. Calabar started a form that they call 6G, which is 6 General. I think when I look back, it was really for those boys who didn't do too well, but they wanted to keep them on to the sports and so on. But I joined that group, and then I went to 6th form, the 6th form proper after that. So I actually did 8 years at Calabar.
You completed 6th form?
I completed 6th form, got nothing at A level. Didn't get anything. In fact, I think I got econ at O level standards, but then the other things I was doing there.
What you did after high school?
I went to CAS.
They accepted you?
They accepted me based on my O level passes and the O level grade in econ, which I didn't do at 5th form. So I got into CAS, and in the first year, they said for you to stay in there, you have to get 5 out of the 7 subjects. I got exactly 5 to stay. So I was able to move on to second year.
What were you doing at CAS?
Business. I did business, specializing in accounts. I like accounts, but I also liked a girl that was doing accounts.
Uh-huh.
And so it worked out very nicely. I've been married to her now for 33 years. So things have really worked out really good with that decision. It was one of the best decisions I made.
And who is this girl?
Her name is Hosin. Her name is Gian, at the time, Gian Haywood. And she was very bright. I mean, to this day, I can't figure out why she even took me on. She was actually in a relationship with another guy, and then that broke up, and I was very sorry for her, so I was there for her, to kind of be with her during that time. And
Did you have an interest?
Oh, yes. I'm glad. My glad back boss. But, so I did accounts at CAS. One thing I found out, though, even then, is that if I wanted to do well, I had to work harder than the average student. Some students would go into a class and everything clicking. Not me. I mean, I didn't write very well either. My first assignment I handed in, the teacher gave back to everyone except me, and I said, Miss, I haven't got my thing. She said, what's your name? I said, Eric Hosin. She said, so that's the name on the paper? Well, Mr. Hosin, when you send me the code, I will mark this paper. So my who became my mother-in-law, who was a teacher, Gianna, sat me down and helped me how to for my hand and how to write. I still don't write good, but she...
Did you have a learning disability? And this is not meant to be rude.
I don't... Well, maybe because I had to... What I found out is that if I wanted to succeed, I must work harder than maybe the average child. And another thing I found out is that staying late into the night and rewriting notes because helped me a lot. But I had to put in more work. And even today, I tell people I'm not the brightest, but God has granted me a certain level of wisdom. And it comes from just reading my Bible and following certain biblical principles. It has helped me and granted me a certain amount of wisdom. And I think that is more what has helped me to achieve what I have achieved than even the brightness part. But I realized that I've gotten a degree. When I left CAS, I only had a diploma, but I went on to do my first degree, then my master's. But I learned that I had to put in more work than others because it not sticks so easy up here, so for me.
So you met Gayon and got married pretty young.
Yeah, I proposed to her and she accepted. She was 22, a young picnic. In fact, when my eldest daughter became 20, she said, Ricky, remember this year? I said, look, do not mention anything like that to them picnic. You know, say, look, a picnic that we had one married. But
how old were you?
I was 24. She was 22. But, you know, the Lord is gracious. We used to take turns. So, you know, she would study. She did her ACCA first, ACCA. And she did extremely well. She was student of the decade in ACCA. As I tell you, I don't know how she married me because, I mean, I wasn't doing very well in anything academically.
She
but,
saw
but, but
quality
God,
of character.
she said, she prayed and God told her, yes, this is the guy. And she said, well, Lord, but him looks all right. But, you know, she won't go with him because you say so. So, you know, it was wonderful at CAS. We were part of UCCF, University and Colleges Christian Fellowship. And
She was also involved in the church.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Was that a deciding factor for you, that she was a Christian?
Had to. She went to Bethel Baptist, and that's where we got married, because, you know. But at CAS, we were part of UCCF. In high school, I was also involved with ISCF. I think those two institutions are just wonderful, you know. And we were very involved in all kind of things in UCCF, not only at CAS, but nationally I got involved with UCCF. So because of that, my friends used to help me, and that's how I had to write notes, because sometimes I would miss lectures because I'm involved, and then I would spend late into the night. I squatted on dorm.
You squatted?
Yes.
Did Mr. Sangster know?
Boy, I don't think so. I slept on a table on a sponge in a friend's room, who was actually the chairman of the student council. So they never searched his room when they were searching for squatters. I won't call a name.
No, don't.
If you watch it,
Yes.
you know. But, you know, we were, and then we formed a band that was called CAS UCCF Band, which later became Birthright Gospel Band.
What were you doing in that band?
And that's it. Everybody, when I tell them that, they say, but we can't remember seeing you on stage. I was a manager. So I was the manager for the band, and Steve Samuels was the head of the band. He was also president of UCCF. He's now Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels.
That UCCF, University
and Colleges,
College,
Christian Fellowship.
Yes.
InterVarsity is what they call it internationally. And then you had people like Reverend Carl Johnson, who was one of the admin people in the band. He was a part of the band too. But
This is Baptist Carl Johnson?
Baptist Carl Johnson. He was a firebrand preacher when he was at CAS. No, you wouldn't hear the firebrand out there. No.
I think he's firebrand in some ways.
Some
still.
ways, yeah.
Yes. But you're a preacher. Are you firebrand?
I don't know. You know, you'd have to come and listen.
I would like to
one
hear.
Of these days,
Yes,
you know?
I should. But how long did Birthright last for that band?
Birthright, I stayed in it for about 10 years, but they continued for a few years after. And even now and then, you know, we link with each other, and, you know, they, as a group, if something is happening, the group might do something. But I decided, I felt led to spend more time in my local church at Open Bible. And so I got so involved, I couldn't be doing that plus the work I was doing at church, you know, under Reverend Dr. Hosin Henry, who was my pastor for many, many years, who just retired last year. Well, sorry, not last year, this year, earlier this year.
Yes.
You know, it was so busy, and then family life and.
Could you
know,
tell me the names of your daughters?
My daughter is Gabrielle, Christina, and Michaela. I'm a girls' man. 3 girls.
Okay. And your wife, 4?
4. So, you know,
Okay, I got you.
They run things.
Eric Hosin, CD, President of Guardian Life, is my guest. We'll be right back after this break.